In 2025, the issue of unauthorized immigration in the United States remains a hot topic, sparking debates and shaping policies. According to recent estimates, approximately 11.7 million unauthorized immigrants reside in the U.S., a number that reflects a slight increase from 11 million in 2022. Based on data from the Center for Migration Studies and Pew Research Center, this population, representing about 3.5% of the total U.S. population, is concentrated in specific states, with some areas bearing a heavier impact than others. From bustling cities to quiet suburbs, these immigrants contribute to the economy and culture while fueling controversy. Stay tuned as we unveil the top 10 U.S. states with the highest unauthorized immigrant populations in 2025. Like, subscribe, comment, and watch till the end for a shocking journey through the numbers. Number 10. Arizona. In 2025, Arizona hosts an estimated 290,000 unauthorized immigrants, making up roughly 3.9% of the state's 7.4 million population. This figure reflects a slight decline from 2022, when the state had around 300,000 unauthorized residents. The Phoenix metropolitan area remains a key destination, housing over 60% of Arizona's unauthorized population. Economic opportunities in construction and agriculture draw many, despite stringent state policies like SB 1070, which aimed to curb illegal immigration. From 2018 to 2022, Arizona's unauthorized population dropped by 10,000, signaling tighter enforcement or economic shifts. Many are from Mexico, 40%, and Central America, 30%, with recent arrivals fleeing violence or economic hardship. Yet, communities thrive on immigrant labor, creating a complex narrative of contribution and contention. Stay tuned for more surprising stats. Number 9. Washington. Washington State, known for its tech hubs and lush landscapes, is home to approximately 340,000 unauthorized immigrants in 2025, comprising 4.3% of its 7.9 million residents. The Seattle-Tacoma area hosts nearly 70% of this population, driven by jobs in agriculture, tech, and services. From 2018 to 2022, Washington's unauthorized population grew by 20,000, bucking national trends of decline in some states. About 35% hail from Mexico, with growing numbers from India, 15%, and China, 10%, reflecting diverse migration patterns. The state's sanctuary policies in cities like Seattle create a welcoming environment, though tensions rise with federal deportation threats under President Trump's 2025 policies. Unauthorized immigrants contribute significantly to Washington's $700 billion economy, particularly in apple orchards and construction. Yet, public opinion is split, with 55% of residents in a 2025 survey supporting humane immigration reform. This hidden story of growth and diversity is unfolding in the Northwest. Number 8. Georgia. Georgia's unauthorized immigrant population stands at 340,000 in 2025, accounting for 3.1% of the state's 11 million residents. Atlanta's metropolitan area is a hub, hosting over 65% of these immigrants, drawn by construction, hospitality, and poultry processing jobs. Between 2018 and 2022, Georgia's unauthorized population remained stable, with a slight uptick of 5,000. Mexicans make up 45%, followed by Central Americans, 25%, and a growing number from Venezuela, 10%. The state's economy, valued at $750 billion, relies heavily on immigrant labor, yet Governor Brian Kemp's strict enforcement stance fuels deportations, with 15,000 removals in 2024 alone. Public sentiment is polarized. 40% of Georgians in a 2025 poll view immigrants as a burden, while 50% see economic benefits. The tension between contribution and enforcement creates a gripping narrative in Georgia, where unauthorized immigrants navigate opportunity and risk daily. Stay with us for more eye-opening insights. Number 7. North Carolina. North Carolina's unauthorized immigrant population is estimated at 390,000 in 2025, forming 3.3% of the state's 10.8 million residents. The Raleigh-Durham and Charlotte areas house 60% of this group, drawn by booming construction and agriculture sectors. From 2018 to 2022, the population grew by 15,000, reflecting the state's rising appeal. Mexicans dominate at 50%, with Hondurans 20% and Salvadorans 15%, also significant. The state's $650 billion economy benefits from immigrant labor, particularly in poultry and pork industries, yet faces pressure from federal policies, with 10,000 deportations in 2024. A 2025 survey shows 45% of residents support stricter enforcement, while 50% favor integration. North Carolina's story is one of growth and tension as communities grapple with economic reliance and political pushback. Keep watching for more compelling data. Number 6. New York. New York, a historic immigration hub, hosts 410,000 unauthorized immigrants in 2025, about 2.1% of its 19.8 million population. The New York City metro area is home to 80% of this group, with jobs in hospitality, construction, and childcare driving migration. From 2018 to 2022, the population dropped by 200,000 due to high living costs and enforcement, but 2025 sees a slight rebound. Mexicans, 30%, and Central Americans, 25%, dominate, with growing numbers from Venezuela, 15%. The state's $1.9 trillion economy leans on immigrant labor, yet sanctuary city policies clash with federal deportation plans, with 20,000 removals in 2024. A 2025 poll shows 60% of New Yorkers support humane policies, but 35% worry about resource strain. New York's tale is one of diversity and division, balancing tradition with modern challenges. Stay tuned for the top 5. Number 5. Illinois. Illinois is home to 420,000 unauthorized immigrants in 2025, making up 3.3% of its 12.7 million residents. Chicago's metro area hosts 75% of this population, drawn by manufacturing, construction, and service industries. The population has remained stable since 2018, with a slight 5,000 increase by 2022. Mexicans account for 55%, followed by Central Americans, 20%, and Indians, 10%. Illinois' $1 trillion economy relies on immigrant workers, especially in meatpacking and hospitality. But strict federal policies led to 12,000 deportations in 2024. Sanctuary policies in Chicago sparked debate, with 50% of residents in a 2025 survey supporting them, while 40% demand tougher enforcement. Illinois' story is one of economic contribution amid political friction, as communities weigh compassion against resource concerns. The countdown continues. Don't miss the top 4. Number 4. New Jersey. New Jersey, with its proximity to New York, hosts 490,000 unauthorized immigrants in 2025, comprising 5.3% of its 9.3 million residents. The Newark and Jersey City areas house 70% of this group, driven by jobs in transportation, retail, and construction. From 2018 to 2022, the population grew by 10,000, reflecting steady migration. Mexicans, 35%, and Central Americans, 30%, dominate, with a notable 15% from India. The state's $700 billion economy benefits from immigrant labor, but 2024 saw 15,000 deportations amid federal crackdowns. But 2025 poll reveals 55% of residents see immigrants as economic contributors, while 40% view them as a strain. New Jersey's dense urban centers create a vibrant yet contentious immigration story, balancing opportunity with enforcement challenges. Number 3. Florida. Florida's unauthorized immigrant population stands at 590,000 in 2025, about 2.6% of its 22.6 million residents. Miami and Orlando metro areas host 65% of this group, drawn by tourism, agriculture, and construction jobs. From 2018 to 2022, the population dropped by nearly 100,000 due to strict state laws under Governor Ron DeSantis. But 2025 shows stabilization. Mexicans, 30%, and Central Americans, 25% lead, with Venezuelans rising to 20%. Florida's $1.4 trillion economy relies on immigrant workers, yet 2024 saw 25,000 deportations. A 2025 survey shows 45% of Floridians support stricter policies, while 50% value immigrant contributions. Florida's story is a tug-of-war between economic needs and political hardlines, making it a focal point in the immigration debate. The top two are next. Number 2, Texas. Texas, a border state, houses 2.1 million unauthorized immigrants in 2025, comprising 6.8% of its 30.8 million populations. Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth host 60% of this group, driven by jobs in construction, energy, and services. From 2018 to 2022, Texas saw a 110,000 increase, fueled by border proximity and economic opportunity. Mexicans make up 50%, with Central Americans 30% and Venezuelans also significant. The state's $2.4 trillion economy heavily depends on immigrant labor, yet Governor Greg Abbott's aggressive policies led to 50,000 deportations in 2024. A 2025 poll shows 55% of Texans support enforcement, while 40% see economic benefits. Texas' story is one of scale and strife, with border security clashing against human contributions. One state remains, can you guess it? Number 1, California. California tops the list with a staggering 2.6 million unauthorized immigrants in 2025, accounting for 6.6% of its 39.2 million residents. Los Angeles and San Francisco metro areas house 70% of this population, drawn by diverse industries like agriculture, tech, and services. The population dipped slightly in 2020, but rose again by 2022, stabilizing in 2025. Mexicans dominate at 50%, with Central Americans 20% and Asians also prominent. California's $3.9 trillion economy thrives on immigrant labor, yet 2025 PPIC survey shows 60% of Californians view immigrants as a benefit, but 40% call the border situation a crisis. California's story is a complex tapestry of opportunity, sanctuary policies, and political battles, making it the epicenter of America's immigration saga. That's the electrifying countdown of the top 10 U.S. states with the most unauthorized immigrants in 2025. From California's epicenter to Arizona's borderlands, these stories captivate. Like, subscribe, and comment to dive deeper into this debate. Thanks for sticking with us. Your support fuels more shocking reveals.